Hey Clashers, this is Chief 3-Star, and I'm going to show you today an ultimate tutorial on dragon attacks as a Town Hall 8. And basically it's a do this, don't do that. You can see in this most recent war, we almost got perfect. It was a 20-person war, 60 stars is the max, so the only one we were able to 3 stars is their number 1 base, and we just crushed them. And there were 2 bases on their side that we had a little bit of difficulty with. You can see this base number 3, we attacked 6 times. Now, some of that was the war was already won and it was just going for loot. And then base number 11, we attacked 4 times, and it did take us 4 attacks as our last attack to get that 3 stars. And it's pretty interesting. I'm going to show you attacks, multiple attacks on each of those bases that were pretty much identical war or troop composition. They're all dragon attacks, and you can see how some went right and some went wrong. And the interesting thing about dragon attacks, you'll see they'll come with the same exact army composition and get so close to or just get destroyed. I mean, they'll get like 51%, 1 star, and you think, man, dragons just aren't going to work against this base. And then someone comes and just times it exactly right and destroys the base, same army composition, all drags, and 3 stars the base. So there's just subtle things you can do to make a dragon attack work, and so that's what I'm going to show you. Let's start with this base number 3, and these obviously were towards the end of the war. We already had 3 stars against this base, but they came with full dragons, the same army composition as the person that 3-starred it, so we're going to show it anyways. So this first one is Cole. He's actually really a great dragon attacker, but we're going to see in some of these it's not because they did anything wrong, but also just so you see these layouts quite a bit. And so hopefully by watching this, by watching the subtle differences that are made or the direction they come from, it'll help you in a war coming up. So Cole drops his barbarian over here, a dragon over here, and what he's doing is funneling, which is great. You put a couple dragons on each side and then try to bring the rest up the middle so you get as many dragons coming up the middle as quickly as possible to get these centralized air defenses. And in his clan castle, he's got level 6 balloons, and so you see, as soon as those outside structures are cleared, he's going to drop his remaining dragon, and then wait a little bit to drop his balloons. He's going to drop the balloons, drop a rage, hopefully right here, and so you get the dragons and the balloons coming straight up the middle. Again, you got 2 or 3 dragons coming on the outside, the rest coming straight up the middle, and you want to get those balloons in the rage as well. Drop the heal in the center. So now you got balloons coming up, dragons coming. Where he goes wrong here is his dragons and balloons kind of split on him. And they get stuck on these storages while the defenses take him out. The other problem he had there is because this clan castle was on the very back side, they don't come out until the balloons are up there quite a ways. And you can see dragons, you can do a mass dragon attack without worrying too much about clan castle because dragons can take out the clan castle troops pretty easily. But the balloons came up here, and these wizards just destroyed his balloons before they were able to get to this next air defense. He drops the poison really well, but a level 1 poison, it will kill a wizard, but it takes quite a while, so those wizards are still able to do quite a bit of damage. And now the dragons split, and you got this 1 remaining air defense that's just going to sit there and pick them off. And it was a really, really well put together attack by Cole, with just a couple little things like that. The placement of the CC troops just ended up being his demise. And so let's go ahead and speed that up. You can see they're circling around this air defense, and so they're just going to be taken out by that archer and air defense. And 90% but 1 star. But good attack. Now let's watch the next one. This is Sugardog, number 10, also a pretty good dragon attacker. And he's going to actually do the exact same attack that Amanda does, and Amanda gets the 3-star. And so there's just a couple things. Amanda does this same thing. She drops the barbarian on that drill, and you'll see that in the next part of this video I show you. A couple dragons here, a couple dragons up here, trying to get as many coming to the center. And you can see what happens here is he's holding back 2 dragons in his clan castle, and he forgets to drop his poison. Again, they're not going to do too much damage to the dragons, but he could have dropped the poison right outside this, so that as they're coming down, they're being slowed down and killed off. No reason not to do that. And Sugardog also gets a few too many dragons out on the edges. I like to see like 2 dragons on each side and the rest coming up the middle. You can see here, he's only got 1 dragon at this point in the middle. The rest are circling around, and so the rage spell is not being used very well because they're kind of circling around. He's got this rage spell and no dragons in it. And so that's really what ends up killing Sugardog. He holds back too long. These 2 dragons and the balloon should have been dropped a while back, and it would have helped protect these other dragons. Because at this point, you got a wasted rage spell. He puts another rage spell there, but those dragons are just falling. And now he's dropping his remaining dragons, his balloons. Has no rage left to get him up the center, and they're just going to get destroyed. And so you see, he comes with all dragons, level 6 clan, level 6 balloons, level 6 barbarian king, and gets barely 51% and 1 star. And it's like, man, that attack is just not going to work. But now let's watch. Look at that army composition. Look at this next one and how similar it is. Excuse me. How similar it is one that actually 3-starred it. It's right here. Number 5 going against number 3. Look at this army composition. She's got the same amount of dragons. Actually 1 level less barbarian king. And she's coming with the same amount of balloons in the castle and the same exact spells. And she's going to play it almost very similar. She's going to drop the barbarian king right there. 1 dragon out here, 1 up here on that thing. She ends up putting a couple here. But watch just how the subtle difference in how she places those dragons. And then how quickly she drops. She doesn't hold back these 2. She does the same exact hold back, 2 and 1. But look at this. At this same point in the war, the one before Sugardog had 4 or 5 dragons up here, 3 or 4 down here, and hardly any in the center. Rage was dropped here. And so you can see in this one, 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and now you got, 4, 6 or so dragons and the balloons coming straight up the middle with the rage right in the middle. And so that rage is actually being used really well. The poison doesn't really do any good. The clan castle troops were taken out before, but again, she could have used that a little better. But hey, she does a perfect attack here, and you can see these dragons are coming right up the middle, right towards his air defense, and now the balloons are getting in that rage. The balloons are going to come take out this one, and these dragons and balloons are just walking through this base now. She's got the rages right in the right spot, right in the center, whereas the last one you saw, the rages were kind of spread out, not really affecting anything, and now balloons are still alive. And so at this point, that last attack with the same exact army composition, got 51%, was totally dead. And right here we've got 62%, still 6 or 7 dragons alive, balloons still alive, and all their defenses have fallen. So let's go ahead and speed it up. We're going to run through this pretty quick. This is going to be a longer video because I'm going to show you another base similar with 4 attacks against it. But look at this. I mean, after that last one I showed you, could have thought, man, a dragon attack's just not going to work against this base. But here she comes, Amanda, amazing, comes with the same exact army composition, and just destroys that base. And so, good job, Amanda. And so hopefully that helps you see how crucial just timing and spell placement is, and that funnel, just very subtle, how you place your troops and the spells can make a huge difference in a dragon attack. So, same exact army composition, came from the same side, 51% 1-star, 100% 3-stars, and hopefully you saw some of the subtle differences so that you can use those in your future dragon attacks. So now let's watch another base, and this is their base 11. He's a Town Hall 8, and let's go down and watch the first one. We're going to watch them in order in which they happened, because it was the last one that did 3-star them. Let's see, and excuse me for looking for these. It's always kind of hard to find when you're doing a big attack like this. So here's the first one. It's our number 10 going against their 11. Coming with, again, dragons, balloons in the clan castle. And so let's just watch what he does. You can see, similar thing there. What do you call this thing? Air sweeper's pointed that way, so we're going to try coming from this direction. And Sugardog, again, he's the first one attacking, so it helps to be able to see something for you. He does a good attack. He's going to try to come from this corner and get to these 2 as quickly as possible. He tries to do the funnel a little bit. You can see the Klein Castle has just a mixture of a lot of archers and wizards, and they kind of spread out, and they do cause some problems for him, because when you get a lot like that, even though they don't do a lot of damage to a dragon, they can keep him busy for a while. You can see these little shields there showing these are alive for quite a while, but they're able to take him out. Now the balloons are coming in. It's looking pretty good at this point. He's got 2 dragons over here, 1 over here, and a lot of dragons coming into this rage, just perfect. What you see here is they got a lot of stores right here, which you can hold your dragons for a long time. Drops in their rage spell. There's a lot of air traps coming in there that take out his balloons. I mean, just all the air traps are lined up right here. So that's something he didn't know as being the first attacker that probably helped the next attackers. But it was a really good raid. I mean, it was well placed, well done. He didn't drop his poison spell. That might have helped with those troops, especially those archers that distract your dragons for a little bit. No reason not to place those. He also drops one of his dragons up here. I would have just put that in here because maybe one more dragon would have got to that air defense. And you never know. It's all about getting to that air defense. So, anyways, he's still got quite a bit of dragons left. The problem is they just split out and they didn't get that air defense. And so they're going to circle around and that air defense is going to pick them off one at a time and just destroy the rest of his dragons. So that was actually a really good attack by Sugardog. But you can see how they split out and it just didn't go right. And you see this base design quite a lot. And so I'm going to show you how we successfully 3-starred this base design, and it'll probably help you when you come up against one like this. The next 2 attacks on this one were kind of a reach for us, and so they're actually really good attacks, but both these are Town Hall 7s. I think one of them was Town Hall 8, but it's brand new Town Hall 8, and so he's coming with Town Hall 7 troops. And so the next one here is the Grey Owl going against Timmy Time, gets 1 star, but the Grey Owl is a Town Hall 7, coming with level 2 dragons, and this is a tough base. I mean, with level 2 dragons, those are pretty stout air defenses, and I think the strategy of Grey Owl, I think he would have got it done with level 3 dragons, because his strategy is just really good. And in fact, he almost gets it, but I'll show you a couple of mistakes. You know, not really mistakes, because the other thing, he doesn't have a poison. So his timing's really pretty good. Again, he's got a couple dragons coming this way, 3 coming this way, and now he's got the rest coming up the center. And his plan, instead of coming in from the corners, come right up here. I think that's probably a better attack strategy, because you don't end up with one behind the Town Hall. They're going to come to him and hopefully get to him before they get stuck on the Town Hall. But here comes the Klein Castle troops, and they kind of spread out. And again, you can see those wizards do quite a bit of damage to these dragons. And now, the other main problem is the balloons are going straight towards this air defense, and they turn back to come and get these, to come and get this, and to follow those Klein Castle troops, which just killed them. I think that really is what was the demise of the Grey Owl. Those balloons turning on him. Otherwise, it was a great attack. I mean, Town Hall 7 coming against that stacked of a Town Hall 8. I mean, you wouldn't even expect him to get 50%, but he does it really well. You know, again, there's one last air defense left, and so circling dragons. But he gets 1 star and reveals a couple things that are important. But it was a good try from the Grey Owl. Grey Owl's one of the best dragon attackers I've ever seen. But you know, it was a little bit too far. Couldn't quite get this one, and so he gets taken out. Watch his last dragon fall. I've got it sped up, and now let's watch one more. So this, actually, we'll watch 2 more against this one. So against their number 11, we're looking for our number 13 going against their number 11. Right here, Kona. You've seen Kona in some of my other videos. Also a great dragon attacker. She's brand new Town Hall 8, but she's coming with Town Hall 7 troops still. Level 2 dragons. And so similar attack to the Grey Owl. And let's just watch how she does it, see if we can see anything different. Again, she's creating the funnel. You're going to line those dragons up. Here comes the Klein Castle troops. She does a pretty good job of getting more dragons coming to the center. The Klein Castle troops, I think she holds a little bit too long on the balloons and that last dragon. They're in there quite a ways before those balloons come in, but they do get in there. You're going to split, and again, this collector, these dragons just split and don't quite get to this air defense. And so that's the problem there again, is they split, get stuck on those storages, and now it's turning back and just air defense is just doing its damage. This is a great attack for level 2 dragons, comes in against a tough Town Hall 8 with centralized air defense and pretty high level air defense. So we'll watch this last dragon. He's out there. It's gonna take his time, but he'll ultimately get taken down by those 2 archers. 82% again from level 2 dragons on that base was really good. Just a great attack. But let's watch the subtle differences now of the attack that actually took it down. See if we can find it here pretty quickly. Fat Cats coming as number 12 to 11, so actually jumping up, and just a great attack. I like a couple things he does. So he learns from those other 4 attacks. He's going to drop his Barbarian King here in a second, any second now. Right there. And you saw, I believe it was Grey Owl that dropped the Barbarian King in that same spot. Dropped it here, and so when the Barbarian King was done with this, went this way. I can't remember if that was this one or not, but anyways, where he places this Barbarian King is important, because after it takes down this one, it's going to go to this building, which will lure the Clan Castle troops. And I think now with the poison spell, those last 2 didn't even have the poison spell, so they didn't really have a chance to do this, but with that poison spell, I think if you can lure the Clan Castle troops, there's no reason not to. So he lets those Clan Castle troops get nice and bunched up, drops the poison on them, and you can see how long this level 1 poison takes to kill these, kills the archers pretty quick, but these level 6 wizards, they last quite a while, but a level 1 poison will completely kill level 6 wizards. And so I think if you can lure and kill, you might as well, because that's the best use for that 1 extra spot in your storage now that you have that poison spell. And so now Fat Cat's going to basically do the same exact attack that he saw the Kona and Grey Owl do, but now there's no Clan Castle troops to worry about. He's got a great funnel coming. They're coming to the center, and there's no Clan Castle troops to, disrupt this or to chase after. And he's coming with level 3 dragons. But look at this perfect. I mean, it's just a perfectly done dragon attack. He's got perfect spell placements. They're all in that rage. Still got another rage and a heal, and so they get to that air defense. Now all air defenses are down, and now we'll speed it up a little bit. Drops the heal on the rest of those dragons, which, against a wizard tower, is a pretty good place to drop a heal, because they can totally counteract. And now, just those subtle differences, luring the Clan Castle troops, coming from the right direction, and all of a sudden, this base is going to be 3-starred, 6 dragons still alive, and they're just going to come through and destroy that. So he did a great job of using his poison spell. It's a perfect funnel, and he did the hold back, where he held back 1 or 2 dragons, let them go, and the balloons right at the right time, so they come right up the center through those rage spells, and just a really good attack. So anyways, this was just a quick, actually it was a pretty in-depth video. 2 different bases. 2 different fairly difficult bases. That first one I showed you, we actually did a go wipe against them with some Valkyries. We tried a hog attack on them, and the Dragons was the one that took it out still, and you saw that. But I didn't show you the go wipe or the hog attack just because we were showing this is a Dragon tutorial. But a couple tough bases, but a couple base design variations that you see quite a bit. And so there's some do this, don't do that, how to 3-star them with Dragons. This has been one of my longest videos, but hopefully one of the most helpful. If you like it, please hit the like button, some comments, subscribe, send it out to your friends, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Keep on clashing. Thank you very much. Have a great day.